Tonight, breaking news, the new federal bulletin involving New York's Times Square. After the Christmas terror overseas this evening, the federal security bulletin concerned about Times Square and New Year's Eve. We're live in Manhattan tonight. And breaking developments overseas, what we have now learned about one of the suspects in the terror attack. After that truck was hijacked, the driver killed. That suspect now on the loose, considered armed and dangerous. The massive explosion, the death toll growing. More than 30 people killed in that market. Some of the young victims now being flown to the U.S. The dangers police face in this country, the body cam just released. 2 officers gunned down responding to a domestic dispute. 1 wounded officer trying to save his longtime friend. The deadly crash, the plane going down just moments after takeoff. 1 crew member surviving. And the major new storm brewing tonight just as millions travel for the holiday.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Wednesday night. And we begin with fast-moving developments after the terror attack in a Christmas market overseas. And tonight, the concern right here at home. A new joint federal bulletin out today, including the NYPD, the FBI, and Homeland Security. The call to all of those agencies to be especially vigilant, writing of their concern over possible lone wolves, mentioning Times Square and New Year's Eve celebrations. Of course, millions of people will gather in Times Square. They say there is no specific credible threat, but that they are concerned. ABC's Lindsay Davis leads us off from Times Square tonight.
After the horror of that Christmas market attack in Berlin, the truck driver plowing into that market, tonight here in the U.S., that urgent joint bulletin issued just today. The target, Times Square, the annual massive New Year's Eve celebration. Each year, a strong police presence during the event. This year, authorities warned there are no specific threats, but they, quote, remain concerned about unaffiliated lone offenders and homegrown violent extremists targeting the event, writing they are particularly concerned due to, quote, their ability to remain undetected until operational and willingness to attack civilians and soft targets, their ability to exploit increased crowd density to perpetuate a mass casualty event. The bulletin goes on to cite the recent terror attacks in San Bernardino, Orlando, and Nice.
And Lindsay Davis with us live tonight from Times Square. And Lindsay, I do want to reiterate what we said at the top, that this bulletin does not list a specific credible threat, but they are concerned tonight, warning law enforcement to be vigilant and for Americans to be vigilant across this country.
Exactly. They want everyone to be particularly vigilant. It's estimated that 1 million people are going to crowd right into this area in Times Square a little more than a week from now to watch the ball drop. David.
Lindsay Davis leading us off tonight. Lindsay, thank you. All of this comes, of course, as Lindsay reported there, after that terror attack overseas. A truck hijacked, the original driver killed, then the truck, of course, plowing into that Christmas market. Well, tonight, the urgent hunt now for a suspect considered armed and dangerous. A warrant has been issued in Germany and all across Europe for the arrest of this man, an asylum seeker believed to have ties to radicals. Tonight, German officials say they had been tracking him for months. And now the obvious question, if he was in trouble before, how did he slip through? ABC's Matt Gupman, again from Berlin.
Tonight, a Europe-wide dragnet for this man, 24-year-old Anis Amri of Tunisia. Germany warning he could be armed and dangerous. According to a German lawmaker, Amri's wallet and ID were found in the cab of that battered semi-truck after it bulldozed through this crowded Berlin Christmas market, crushing stalls, killing 11 and injuring dozens more. Amri was long on the radar of German terror officials. Today, the AP obtaining this alert going out to international police, noting he has used 6 aliases in 3 countries. He came to Germany in 2015 seeking asylum, but it was denied. Officials concerned about his ties to radical Islamists and allegations of petty crime. Germany then trying to deport him, but he didn't have the paperwork to prove he was Tunisian, and so he stayed. According to the AP, German authorities had him under surveillance until September, after getting a tip he was trying to obtain weapons for an attack. Today, police searching this home for refugees where he's believed to have stayed. Police aren't saying Amri drove the truck into the market. That semi believed to have been hijacked just hours before the attack, as its driver was hauling steel beams from Italy to Germany. That driver seen on the surveillance camera at a diner after calling his wife. His dead body was found in the battered truck, German officials saying he'd been shot, but no gun was found on the scene. The attack jarring Germany and its stoic Chancellor Angela Merkel. She's being increasingly challenged for her decision to welcome more than 1 million migrants. Tonight, protected by cordons of police and riot gear, members of Germany's far right gathered near the site of the attack.
The voice you hear behind me is from a neo-Nazi group, and past this line of dozens and dozens of officers to keep the peace, there is a pro-immigration rally that is far larger.
In other parts of Berlin, a different response to the tragedy. The city's famed Christmas markets open once again.
Germans seem to be listening to their government, coming back out to these Christmas markets, and while the crowds are what you would expect to see this time of year, what you wouldn't expect to see, police vans.
And as Germans flock to these markets once again, we saw something else too. Cranes placing these concrete barriers at the Alexander Place market. Protection should the unthinkable happen again.
And Matt Gutman joins us live again tonight from Berlin. And Matt, I want to get back to this fast-moving investigation. The suspect was on their radar for months?
That's right. They were conducting surveillance against him for months, but for some reason decided to call it off in September. They last spoke about him in November and didn't hear about him again until that attack. Now, as that manhunt continues, German investigators say they've wrapped up their investigation here at the site of the attack. That market will be open again tomorrow morning. David.
Matt Gutman with us again tonight. Thanks, Matt. And President-elect Donald Trump asked about the terror overseas. He did emerge briefly after an intelligence meeting at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida today. Reporters asking him about the terror attack and about his plan during his campaign for a Muslim ban in this country. His nominee for National Security Advisor, retired Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, was right there behind him.
In light of the violence in Europe with Turkey on Monday, have you spoken to President Obama since then?
What's going on is terrible. We have intelligence here right now. What's going on is terrible.
Has it caused you to rethink or reevaluate your plans to create a Muslim presence or ban Muslim immigration in the United States?
Hey, you know my plans all along, and I've been proven to be right, 100% correct. What's happening is disgraceful.
You saw the security in Times Square, security being stepped up across Europe as well, especially at tourist sites where Americans will be among the holiday visitors. In London tonight at Buckingham Palace, there are strict new controls in place at this hour, and ABC's Lama Hassan is outside the palace tonight.
Tonight, Scotland Yard tightening security at one of London's biggest targets, Buckingham Palace. The threat level is at severe in London. Helicopters patrol from the air. On the ground, armed police are on high alert. Extra security barriers now in place. All the roads around the palace will be closed off for 2 hours during the famous tourist attraction, Changing of the Guard. Tonight, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, normally at their estate for their Christmas holiday, are at Buckingham Palace, but not for security. The palace telling ABC News both are suffering from, quote, heavy colds.
Lama Hassan with us live from Buckingham Palace tonight, which brings us to the other headline there in London. Not only security concerns, but concerns over the health of the Queen and the Prince. What more do we know?
Oh, absolutely, David. We are being assured tonight that there is no cause for concern. The Queen and Prince Philip have simply decided to delay their trip to Sandringham because they have these heavy colds. David?
Lama Hassan with us from Buckingham Palace. Lama, thank you. We turn next to the deadly explosion in Mexico, that death toll rising after a disaster at an open-air market where people were buying fireworks to celebrate the holidays. There is word tonight some of the youngest victims are being brought to hospitals here in the U.S. The chain reaction disaster sending rockets shooting hundreds of feet into the air, the smoke hiding the horror on the ground. ABC's Kana Whitworth is at the scene tonight just outside Mexico City.
From the sky tonight, this is what remains of the San Pablito market after that deadly chain reaction explosion. Rows of charred stalls and burned vehicles. Firefighters battling the blaze. Devastated families searching for loved ones.
No encuentro a mi papá.
This woman said everything is gone. At least 32 killed, 60 sent to the hospital. This 13-year-old boy airlifted to a Texas hospital for treatment. Fireworks are a grand part of Mexican culture during the holidays. 80% of the country's supply comes from this region, a bustling hub 40 miles north of Mexico City that was gripped with panic and horror Tuesday. A series of explosion local media reports lasted for 12 minutes. survivors running for their lives. A town and a country in mourning days before Christmas as officials investigate what triggered the explosions.
This isn't the first accident at this market. They had a previous explosion in 2005. But David, it was just last week that the city of Tultepec said this was the safest fireworks market in Latin America. David?
Kana Whitworth there in Mexico City for us. Kana, thanks. Back here at home tonight, newly released body cam video showing the moments before two Georgia police officers answering a call over a domestic dispute were then fatally shot. The officers were also childhood friends, and the last act for one of them was to try to save the other's life. ABC's Wjla with that video tonight.
Tonight, the body camera video of a Georgia police officer's final moments. Nicholas Smar and his partner Jody Smith were responding to a domestic violence call earlier this month.
Come here.
You can see the suspect right there down the hall, Minquel Lembrick, but he runs off and the officers immediately give chase. But as the two officers close in, the suspect pulls out a gun and opens fire. Both Smar and Smith were severely wounded. Officer Smar tried saving his partner and best friend with CPR until his own last breath, Smith dying later at the hospital. In the last year, there's been a 68% increase in deadly police shootings. In this case, there were only 16 seconds between the knock on the door and the first shots fired.
The domestic violence call is the number one most unpredictable type of call police officers answer in this country.
And David, after a manhunt and standoff with SWAT officers, the suspect ended up taking his own life. This video tonight really highlights the dangers that officers face every single day on the streets. David?
Gio Benitez with us tonight. Thank you, Gio. Next this evening, the American grandparents pleading for the freedom of their little grandsons, their daughter and her husband. They've been held hostage by the Taliban for years, the little boys born in captivity. In newly released video tonight, the grandparents seeing the boys together for the very first time, and they are hoping President-elect Trump will be the one to make a deal to bring them all home. Here's our chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, tonight.
We have waited.
These are the faces of the littlest American hostages, now 4 years old and 18 months, born in captivity after their parents were captured by the Taliban. Their grandparents saw them together for the first time in this new video.
He's a little boy, looks like any American little boy.
He's adorable. You just want to reach out, and hold him. And that's very difficult.
Tonight, those grandparents, Lynn and Jim Coleman of Stewartstown, Pennsylvania, are making a plea for Donald Trump to do what President Obama has not. Make a deal with the Taliban to get their daughter Katie, her husband Josh, and their children free.
There are some people that are just really good at that and some that aren't that good at that.
You think Donald Trump might be better than Barack Obama?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do.
And the Colemans say they have spoken with senior Trump advisors about putting more pressure on Pakistan to help make a deal.
I think the new administration might be more willing to put pressure on them to make this happen.
This will be the 5th Christmas in the Coleman household without Katie, who once took charge of decorating the tree.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Their hopes pin now on whether Donald Trump will break with longstanding U.S. policy and make a deal with the terrorists to get this family home if President Obama cannot. Brian Ross, ABC News, Stewartstown, Pennsylvania.
Brian, thank you. Next to the extreme weather at this hour as holiday travel kicks into high gear. New storms firing up in the west at this hour, striking tonight. Snow in the Midwest today, falling on Lambeau Field. The Packers at home there on Saturday. No surprise, there'll be snow on the ground there. Let's get right to meteorologist Rob Marciano. He's live along the West Side Highway here in New York tonight with the forecast for millions who are traveling this week. Hey, Rob.
Hi, David. Well, as you know, the frozen tundra of Green Bay, no stranger to snow, but we have big changes on the way with these western storms. Let's take a look. The first one spinning into Southern California tonight. The second one is bigger, and we'll have more widespread rain and mountain snow there into Friday and Saturday. Very difficult driving conditions, but both of these are going to pump up the warm air into the U.S. And look at the temperatures come Christmas Day into the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Some of these spots were below zero earlier this week. David?
I spotted 74 in New Orleans. Let's go. All right, Rob Marciano, thanks. The holiday shopping crunch is on tonight. Millions of last-minute shoppers feeling the pressure, but there is still time to get some pretty good deals. And believe it or not, some of the items you can still order up until 9:45 on Christmas Eve. Here's ABC's chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis.
Tonight, 'tis the season
to procrastinate.
How many last-minute shoppers do we have here?
One.
3 of 4 shoppers waiting right up until Christmas to get it all done.
It is certainly a buyer's market. Create your own discount by asking for a lower price.
Many retailers also letting you shop online and pick up in store, including Walmart.com, where you have until 6 p.m. on Friday to shop and 6 p.m. Christmas Eve to pick up.
You can always get cash, you can always get gift cards.
Using websites like Deal News, you can even find them at a discount. Finally tonight, Amazon offering eligible customers what they're calling Procrastinator's Delight. Order through Prime now before 9:45 p.m. Christmas Eve, and you'll have it on your doorstep by midnight. And remember, many things like tickets, subscriptions, memberships to your favorite services, they can all be purchased online and given electronically right up until Christmas. David?
Rebecca Jarvis.